Once upon a time in the heart of the evergreen forest, there lived a gentle rabbit named Rupert who was known far and wide for his magnificent white fur and swift legs. He loved to prance around, boasting about how fast he could hop and how his white coat shined brighter than the moonlight. Every day, Rupert would challenge his woodland friends to races, and each time he would win, his pride would grow a little bit more. On the other side of the forest lived a humble little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy wasn't as flashy as Rupert. In fact, Sammy was often overlooked because his talents were subtle. He was quick and nimble, but in his own quiet ways. Sammy loved collecting acorns, climbing trees, and observing the forest's beauty. He didn't see the need to prove himself to anyone and was content in his simple life. One bright, sunny morning, Rupert announced yet another race. Who dares to challenge the fastest runner in the forest? Rupert called out proudly. The birds chirped, the hedgehog shuffled, and the deer continued grazing. Nobody wanted to race Rupert, knowing how much he cherished his victories. Just then, Sammy, with a bright acorn in his paws, came forward. "I'll race you, Rupert," he said with a twinkle in his eyes. The forest animals gasped and whispered. Could Sammy, the quiet squirrel, really defeat Rupert? Rupert chuckled and agreed. "Very well. Don't be disappointed when you lose, Sammy. Let's race from here to the old oak tree and back," the rabbit declared. The race started, and Rupert sped off, leaving a dust trail behind. Sammy, however, took his time, swiftly and silently moving through the trees. As Rupert ran, he rambled on about his speed, not noticing the beauty surrounding him. He was so engrossed in boasting that he didn't notice a big mud puddle right in his path. Splash! Rupert slipped and got all covered in mud. Meanwhile, Sammy ran along the branches, hopping from tree to tree. Graceful and focused, he was in sync with the forest, humming gently as he leaped. The other animals watched in amazement as Sammy reached the oak tree, then headed back just as Rupert got back on his feet. Covered in sticky mud, Rupert struggled to regain his pace. To everyone's surprise, Sammy crossed the finish line before Rupert could even shake the mud off his paws. The forest erupted in cheers for Sammy, the quiet, unassuming squirrel who had beaten the prideful rabbit. Rupert, realizing his mistake, looked at Sammy with respect. "You really are swift in your own special way," he said, humbled. From that day on, Rupert learned to appreciate his friends' different talents and celebrated them, rather than just boasting about his own. And Sammy continued to quietly enjoy his happy life, with new respect from all the forest animals. And so, the moral of the story is, pride may go before the fall, but humility always helps you rise with grace and joy.